It's going.
Okay. My name is Kellen and I'm here to give a presentation on centering for PSP 5815. Little introduction. I want to thank the Santa Clara University baseball team for joining the session today. And there's an outline sheet provided for note taking if you so please. Okay, how to center. First, I'm going to take you through a drill that you can use on a daily basis to center yourself before competition, during competition, or after competition. Okay? So first of all, sit up in your chairs upright. Close your eyes. Feet flat on the ground. And start focusing in on your breath. Inhale and exhale very deeply. Relax your muscles and become aware of any body parts that's ailing you, any insecurities, any tension you might feel in your body. I want you to become aware of those feelings. I want you to find your center point, which is behind and below the navel. I want you to feel that position. I want you to feel heavier and heavier in your seat. I want you to feel less pressure to hold yourself up. Your body's going to hold yourself up. I want you to mentally check the tension in your chest, in your shoulders, in your neck. Again, I want you to find those tense areas in your body. I want you to feel relief on every exhale. Find that center point. Take about 3 or 4 deep breaths and open your eyes when you're ready. Okay, you guys all good? Awesome. We'll get back to some comments and some feedback at the end. Now, when to center. Okay, we're talking about specific situations, more general situations, whatever it may be. I want to hear from you guys certain times where you think the centering is important in sports. Go ahead.
During an at-bat.
During an at-bat. More specific.
Or like when you're on deck.
Okay. All right, anybody else?
Something bad happens to you in the field.
Okay, like what? Give me a story. Give me a specific situation.
Like it's 0-2 or 1-2, you're pitching, and you give up a base hit.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now I'll give you the real answers. Before competition, you want to do that before every day, every game that you compete in. You want to find that moment where you can completely let everything go and be calm and relaxed. Okay. Middle of the competition, you want to find that point in the game where you can fall into a lull or like a low spot in your competitive edge. You want to find that spot, become aware of it, and you can center yourself in that situation. Towards the end of the competition, there's a lot of times where, for example, in a basketball game, a lot of people put pressure on themselves in the last 8 seconds of a game. That's a perfect time to kind of center yourself and bring yourself back. Other times, which more general, when confidence is low, when you're not feeling well that day, or if you're struggling at the plate in baseball or struggling at the free throw line in basketball, it's kind of one of those situations where it's a good time to do it. Expectations are high. Expectations are the death of a lot of teams and a lot of individual players, and that's a perfect time when you realize and become aware that expectations are so high that you can find that center in yourself and as a team. Feelings, frustration, anxiety. There's a lot of times where during competition, before or after, you might feel some anxiety, and those are great times to center yourself. And you want to raise that confidence level as high as you can. Okay, here's some specific examples. Quarterback right before the snap, volleyball player before a serve, soccer player before a penalty kick, and based on these examples, does anybody have any more in baseball for me? That kind of go along with this kind of idea, these kind of examples, specific.
Right before a pitch.
Right before a pitch, perfect. Okay, so ultimately, the more practice you get with centering, you'll be able to center yourself with 1 to 2 breaths. And then you'll find that what we did earlier, you should be able to get to 1 or 2 breaths. Here's some benefits from centering. You gain control over your attention and concentration under pressure. So when you face those pressure situations, you can center yourself and be able to perform at the highest level. You can feel strength, confidence, and stability, and you increase your chances of success when you have these. Okay? Because when you're competing, you want to feel strong, confident, stable, because you're not worried about everything else. You're kind of just focusing in the moment right there. Facilitate your breathing. A lot of times people feel anxious and a lot of pressure on themselves that they can't really breathe very well. And it's a good way to kind of zone in your breath and find that center of gravity in your body. And regulate arousal levels, good and bad. Sometimes you can be too excited for an at-bat, or too arousal level way too low for an at-bat or a pitch or whatever it may be, where you can kind of find that happy medium where you need to be to find your best performance. Also, like I touched on before, you can direct your attention and focus on the task at hand instead of worrying about all these different things, because once you center, you kind of zone in your focus on what's next in the game. And that stability or groundedness. When I had you guys focus on feeling heavier in your chair, you kind of just were there. That's the feeling of being grounded. Okay, so you're not holding yourself up, your body's holding yourself up. You're not being conscious of holding yourself up, you're letting your body do the work. It also, in terms of centering yourself before a competition, it helps you find a consistent place. So you're not ups and downs right before a competition, because that's where you want to be the most consistent. Open up to any questions.
What about centering before practice? Is that a good idea? Like, not just for competitions?
Absolutely, because what that does, it ensures a good routine, because it makes the practice or preparation day very similar to a game day. And I think that the more practice you get with centering, like I said, the faster you'll be able to center yourself, so you can be able to do it every pitch instead of maybe once in the third, once in the fourth, once in the seventh, for example. Because what we did earlier was probably 30 seconds, and you want to be able to center yourself in about 1 to 2 seconds, ideally. So the more practice you get, the more times you try it, the better you're going to become at it. So practice, I think, is a great opportunity for you to incorporate that into your routine. Anybody else?
What are your thoughts on focal points for
Focal?
centering?
Focal points, I think it's phenomenal. Now, in terms of centering, it's more in this area right here. You want to find that center of gravity, because what it does, it kind of just alleviates all of the pressure and tension throughout your body instead of on one spot or just in your head. You know, it kind of distributes it evenly instead of being focused on one thing. You know, like if you find that center of gravity, you're able to kind of build your confidence because you're not feeling that anxiety. You know, does that make sense? Okay. Is that good? Awesome. Thank you for your attendance.